Hello everyone, Brome here, and in today's video I wanted to talk about the questbook contest that Nyko and I are organizing, in the goal of making more people aware of it and participate in it, but also to give some advice to people who are currently drafting their submissions, giving some insights into what I learned while making my own quest tree. This will be a pretty laid back video, no insane announcements or features, just a small video to give the chance to our community members to make the best questbook submissions. First of all, I wanted to remind everyone of the context beyond this contest. Our team is currently working on the Terraria mod, adding a quest book similar to the quest system from the Minecraft FTB quest mod into the game, which currently looks like this. This mod was specifically designed to be as modular as possible to allow developers to use the mod to convey information about the progression and intricacies of their mods beyond what boss checklists can achieve. So if you are playing a mod made compatible with the questbook mod, you will see the collection and progression of quests that the developer created. But if you are not playing with any compatible mods, the questbook will instead show you a quest book for vanilla Terraria, and that's where the contest comes in. The goal of the contest is to create the collection of vanilla quests that appear when no compatible mods are added. This contest being first announced in my latest public video, which you can check out with the link in the description if you haven't watched it yet. Now let's get into the rules and prize of this contest. As stated just before, this is a vanilla quest book, so obviously no quests related to other mods. Your submission is to be made on draw.io. It is a very easy and convenient online tool to make diagrams, and I'll explain a bit later in the video how you can use it to make a proper quest tree we could use. After the contest, we will use the winning submission and integrate it as the default set of quests. So this means that no coding is required to make a submission. You only need to have good ideas. Submissions are to be posted in the submission forum on the Bereft Souls Discord server. It is possible to work in teams, and there is no maximum amount of team members that can work on the same submission. If a winning submission was made by a team, we can split the earnings for each participating member. You or your team can post multiple submissions, although only one submission can be chosen to appear in the final placement board composed of the top 8 submissions. The submission deadline is on November 1st, 2025, and the winning submissions will be chosen by the Bereft Souls team after the deadline has passed. For the prizes, first place will receive $1,000 and will see their submission become the base vanilla quest book and be an example for other mod developers to take inspiration for their modded quest book. Second place will receive $500, third place will receive $250, and 4th to 8th place will all receive $50 each. Now that we have the most important rules out of the way, let's get into what, to me, makes a good quest tree. The things I'm going to say, especially when talking about the quest design, are merely suggestions. These are not rules that you must follow, and you can choose to ignore them if you think you have better ideas. In this video, I'm going to explain both how to use the draw.io tool and how to design a good quest tree to get you the best chance to get into winning position. So first, draw.io. There is not a million things to explain about it, as it is very straightforward. For standardization purposes, I highly advise that you use these specific shapes for your quests. A small circle for a normal quest, a big circle for an important quest, an 8-point star for a difficult quest, you can find this shape in the basic tab, and a diamond for a quest link. A quest link is an element on the quest book that can take you to another chapter or another spot on the same chapter. You can also add a description to your quest by clicking on it, then edit and edit tooltip. Having a natural tooltip for your quest will always be better than just relying on the picture you put or having text on the side. You can put more information and details on how you want the quest to look like in-game, what would the clear condition be for each quest, or even some fun creative writing. It's up to you. And if you need some help with navigating around the draw.io interface, you can watch the playlist that I've put in the description that contains short tutorials going over certain aspects of this tool. Now let's get into the actual quest design part, and for this part I will take my own quest tree as an example. I know it's definitely not a perfect example, but it will be good enough for what I want to talk about. When designing your book, you have to remember that the in-game book will look like this. On the right you have your quests that are divided into chapters, and your chapters are divided into books, each book covering an essential part of Terraria's gameplay. The most obvious book to do first is the progression, that you can divide in as many chapters as you want. For my progression book, I divided the progression into pre-boss, pre-hard mode, pre-Plantera, and endgame. But the progression isn't the only aspect of Terraria's gameplay, and you can for example make a book for NPCs, item progression, crafting trees, fishing, exploration, challenges, class progression, guides, and so much more. you really have a lot of liberty when it comes to the books and chapters you can do. My book was pretty classic, I just did progression, crafting trees, NPCs and challenges. But if you have other ideas that you think would be a good contribution to your quest book, you are absolutely free to add them. When deciding the flow of your quest, you should always keep in mind not to restrict the player too much. Terraria is a game where a lot of liberty is given to the player, and taking away that liberty by making your quest flow entirely in a linear way will be very bad for the player experience. A simple example is when making the boss progression for pre-hard mode, you should not make every pre-hard mode boss mandatory, since only the wall of flesh is necessary to progress to hard mode. On my version, you can see that it is entirely possible to skip all of the pre-hard mode quests and go straight to beating the wall of flesh. You just get the quest for reaching the underground, then the underworld, which gets you to the next chapter, then get a voodoo doll, beat the wall of flesh, and bam, you're in hard mode. And I try to keep this mentality when designing my quest, that even if a speedrunner made an 80% run with my quest book installed, he will still get to the end of my book without getting blocked along the way by a random quest that is not essential to the core progression. You also have to remember that the quest book mod is going to be a very versatile tool, so requirements for completing a quest are not limited to getting a certain item or killing a boss. You can truly use your creativity to make interesting and engaging quests. For my book, I wanted to keep the progression chapters clear and straightforward, so they mostly consist of getting items and killing bosses. However, I made other chapters from other books have more engaging content or even small and funny challenges. For example, my NPC book looked like this. Each NPC in the game had 3 quests related to them. The first quest was to have this specific NPC move into your world, and the remaining 2 quests will be little challenges related to them, with the third one being the most complicated or farthest into the progression. Now again, these are just examples and you should not just copy them, but you can definitely get a look to maybe find some inspiration for your own quests. Lastly, the best way to improve your designs are to talk and get feedback from the community. As you might have seen, there is a dedicated channel in the Bereft Souls server for this contest. You're welcome to get advice and feedback from other members or even from Nightcore and I. With all of this said, that's going to be it for today's video. If you still have questions, don't hesitate to ask us on the Discord, and happy questing. Bye!